Hello, students. Today we start a topic called learning. Learning is basically a process through which you can acquire knowledge, you can modify your knowledge, you can modify your skills, you can modify your behavior, you can change your skills, you can change your behavior, you can do some change in your values, in your preferences also. But that thing you need to learn first. So it is basically a process through which you can change, or a permanent change is there in your behavior. You learn how to make that permanent change. It's like a modification of your behavior through experiences and training. It's like modification, change in your habits, change in your knowledge, change in your attitude. All these things which makes you a better individual is called learning. What are the basic elements of learning? These are some elements through which learning is not complete. First one is, whenever you learn something, you must try to inculcate it in your behavior. So first thing which is very much important is, when you learn something, that must be reflective nature, that must be seen, that must be, behavior must be changed, and that must be seen, that must be reflective. Next one is, learning is active. Active means that change or that knowledge which you acquire, that must be used in making some sort of activities, that must have some purpose. If purpose is not there, then definitely there is no meaning of learning. Some motive is there. Yeah, next point is that learning is goal directed, yeah, goal oriented. Without goal, without motive, without purpose, learning can hardly be seen. This point is 100% right, that if you have some purpose, if you have some reason, then only you can go for it. Otherwise, that is of no use. Next and last one, learning is universal and continuous. Definitely, since your childhood you start learning. That is a never ending process. On daily basis, you learn something. Daily habit, on your daily work, on your routine work, definitely you learn something. So it is a process which is like a never ending one, and it's universal, it is for all. It's not like that ki it's for me only, it's not for you. No, it is for all, it is for all human beings, and it is a continuous process. It's not like that ki I am at the age of 50 or 65 now, I don't want to learn. No, आपको सीखना नहीं पड़ेगा, it happens automatically, right? These are few characteristics of learning, what learning makes you, and how learning makes you a better person. That learning is growth. Of course, you are getting some sort of experience. There is some permanent change in your behavior. You must be so much of activity oriented. Some goal is there. So definitely you will achieve growth. Learning is adjustment. Learning makes you intelligent. Learning makes you active. Learning is always be purposeful. Learning is universal. Learning is change. Learning is definitely transferable. Learning is basically turn learning affects the conduct of a learner. Of course, the code of conduct will change. It's a transferable one. Learning is a total reaction of individual to a total situation. Definitely, all these points makes learning a complete process, right? How many types of learning? Number one is motor learning. Motor learning is very much clear. The things which you learn from your daily activities or by doing your daily activities. जो आप अपनी डेली लाइफ में जो चीज़ें सीखते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मोटर लर्निंग. नेक्स्ट इज वर्बल लर्निंग. एज द नेम इंडिकेट्स, आप बोलने से पहले जो आप सोच रहे हैं, जो आप बोल रहे हैं, उसको आप सुन रहे हैं. You speak, you communicate the sounds, the symbols, the words, the figure. जो आपको दिख रहा है, विजुअलाइज हो रहा है, जो आप सुन पा रहे हैं, दैट्स ऑल आर वर्बल लर्निंग. कई बार ऐसा होता है किसी के बोलने से आप सीख रहे हैं, किसी के कहने से आप कुछ सीखते हैं, दैट इज verbal learning. Next is concept learning. Concept learning is very much, clear. It's some sort of like logical learning, like thinking learning, like reasoning, like intelligence. So these all are the concepts. ये वो चीजें हैं जिसके पीछे कुछ ना कुछ लॉजिक होता है, कुछ ना कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट होता है. सम रीजनिंग पावर इज देयर, सम सॉर्ट ऑफ इंटेलिजेंसी, आप किसी की इंटेलिजेंसी से कुछ सीख रहे हैं, आप कुछ सोच रहे हैं, उसके बाद आपने कुछ सीखा, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कॉन्सेप्ट। One is discrimination learning. It's very 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 practical situation. Discrimination learning ऐसा होता है, कई बार आप रोड पर चल रहे होते हैं एंड आपको पीछे से कोई हॉर्न ब्लो करता है, तो आपको पीछे मुड़कर देखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, आप उस हॉर्न से समझ जाते हो कि वेदर ये हॉर्न किसी बाइक का है, हॉर्न कार का है या किसी बस का है, एंड यू गिव देम अ साइड, गिव देम अ पैसेज। तो ये क्या है, ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है जो आप इजिली आपने लर्न करा हुआ है कि ये जो आवाज है ये बाइक की है, ये जो आवाज है ये कार की है, और ये जो हॉर्न ब्लो हो रहा है ये बस का है। दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डिस्क्रिमिनेशन लर्निंग। जो आप फर्क करते हो, जो आपने फर्क सीखा है, जो आपने डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किया है, उसके बेसिस पे जो आपने लर्न किया है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज discrimination learning. Next is learning of principles. It's very 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 possible, it's very quite interesting concept that हर चीज का कुछ अपना एक फॉर्मूला होता है, कुछ लॉज होती हैं, कुछ कोरिलेशंस होते हैं, कुछ एसोसिएशन होता है, कुछ मेथड्स कहते हैं ना, वो थ्योरी चली आ रही है। तो ये सब क्या है, ये सब वो चीजें हैं जो हमेशा एज इट इज रहती हैं, वो चीजें कभी चेंज नहीं होती हैं। फ्यूल के 14 प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, वो पहले भी वही थे, वो आज भी यही है। ABCD पहले भी वही थी, आज भी वही है। तो दीज आर कॉल्ड लर्निंग of principles. You're learning on the basis of principles. Next one is problem solving learning. It's again a very practical situation. You can learn things by solving it. You know, some problem is there, and when you find out the solution, that thing is fit in your mind. That is called problem solving approach. You know, you think, you find out some reason, you do some calculation, you observe something, you imagine something, so that creates an impact on your mind, and that impact you get by solving that problem. That is called problem solving approach. And last one is attitude learning. Attitude learning you can get from your profession. Attitude learning you can also get through patience. Attitude learning is basically a change in behavior. You can learn things by the behavior of other people. We develop different attitudes from our childhood about the people, about the object, and about everything we know. So our behavior may be positive or negative. It's depending upon our attitude. So जो भी चीजें आपने अभी तक लर्न करी हैं, वो कहीं ना कहीं किसी न किसी के बिहेवियर से लर्न की होंगी. So attitude is directly relates to the behavior, right? uh, it's very important part of students. Theories of learning. Its number one theory is trial and error theory. The name indicates first of all you need to do trial, and the later on is error. When you did some sort of trial, when you do some trial, definitely some flaws are there, and that flaws are called error. So you need to rectify your errors by trial and error learning theory. This theory is founded by the American psychologist Thorndike, and he particularly put emphasis on this, like the as the trials will increase, as how many more your trials are, the error will automatically decrease. जितने ज्यादा आपके ट्रायल होंगे उतने ही कम आपकी गलतियां होंगी. This concept is very much true, very much practical. Here is one example. Students go through it. Learning by condition. As the name focuses on, you learn something, but some condition is there. You know, you need to adjust. That is again a condition. Some sort of new situation is there. New situation means again condition is there. So this theory was given by Pavlov. He won Nobel Prize in the year 1904, and he focused on this, that classical conditioning means repeated action. How much your actions are repeated, number of informations you are gaining. So he focused on the repeated actions. Here is again one example. You need to go through it. This theory is again divided into two parts: classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Operant condition we need to understand by the help of some instruments. This theory was founded by Skinner. He is an American psychologist, And he focused on, while you learn something, you need to depend upon some sort of instruments to get some better output, to get some better objective, to get some better results. You need to take some help of some instruments. Here is again one example. You need to go through it. But this theory you can easily be understand by the help of using some instruments. Next one is learning by insight. This theory was given by Wolfgang Kohler, and he basically focused on the perception of a situation as a whole will gives you a better understanding the sum total than sum total of its part. You know, sometime it happens that you create a perception about some giving situation, about some situation. You have a perception, so that perception will help you a lot in solving that problem. So learning by insight means, if you have some perception, might be that perception gives you a better understanding how to deal with that particular situation. That perception is basically called a sudden flash of idea. A sudden idea that comes into your mind is learning by insight, right? Next one is learning by imitation. Imitation means learning by your day to day activities. You can learn, like, how the way you eat, how the way I walk, how the way he or she will dress out. So these are some imitations. You can learn, you can observe the behavior of others. Like, many people believe that imitation is a lower type of learning, it's not give a detailed idea, because it's depend upon the creativity of individual, what individual will see in an individual, वो किसी में क्या देख रहा है. But it is imitation means, when you observe the behavior of others, you will get some sort of knowledge about his or her behavior, his or her attitude. So